Every single time and every single minute, there's always somebody out there speaking, preaching, I deserve a wonderful life, I deserve a wonderful partner, I deserve this, that, and so on. But babe, you're laying on your bed, doom scrolling from dusk till dawn. Have you ever given yourself a chance to go out, meet new people, get aligned with this wonderful partner that you talk about, or has even tried something new, work hard enough so that the money will actually come in? No? Exactly. Then, if you feel a little lost and you don't know where to start, perhaps even wonder what your mission here on earth is, then you already have one. It's to find it. Hello, my name is Haven and welcome back to my channel. In my latest video, I talked about transformation and how people aren't able to change because they're stuck living as this identity that society has molded them into. So for today, let's dive deeper into that. Humans are social animals, so it isn't surprising that we are performers by nature. But lack of recognition creates insecurity. Hence, the questions start to pile in. Why am I so different from others? What makes me so isolated from them? Why don't I fit in? And this is when people start to change themselves. They change the way they act, the way they walk, the way they talk, or sometimes even like going as far as taking others' opinions and ideas and making it their own. And when they start to do that, this is when they lose their authenticity, hence losing themselves in the process. But what I want you to take from this is that if you lose yourself or if you hide yourself amongst a crowd of hypocrites, then you won't find a person of integrity. If you spend the rest of your life pretending to be somebody you're not, then how will you be able to find someone who shares the same views as you do in life? So give yourself a chance to be unapologetically and authentically you. Because in a world where everybody else is trying to be someone that they're not, the most radical thing to do is to be yourself. So, how is it are you going to be able to find that integrity and find your authenticity back? I call this returning back to the source of our happiness and sadness. So let's take a dive back into the past. I've recently read a book and came across a quote by Antoni Gaudi which says that originality consists of returning back to the origin and completed by a Valencian singer-songwriter who says that whoever loses their roots loses their identity. Now, I want you to question yourself these three questions. First is when was it that you felt the most alive? Second, what was the source of your happiness? And third, how were you like back then? For me, for example, it was during COVID-19. I know it may seem a little bit controversial because everybody was sick and like unaliving everywhere, but it was one of those times where I don't have to worry about my education or my grades, and I really took the time to discover myself. And through that, I discovered a few hobbies of mine, which consists of content creation that led me to doing what I'm doing right now. So, the person that you are might be easier to find than you think. So, give it a try. Another thing is what I called recognition. Basically, it's to understand our present self. The thing is, the present and the past is linked together. So the person that you are today is a result of what happened in the past. I want you to recall a few situations where you felt targeted or you felt hurt by something somebody said or did to you. No matter how you react to the situation, if it consists of negative emotions like sadness, anger, envy, etc., those are triggers. And what triggers us tells us parts of ourselves that needs healing. I'll give you an example. If somebody were to give you constructive advice and you feel small just by that, or you feel attacked, then perhaps you have fear of not being good enough. So work on your relationship with perfectionism. That sting that you felt inside here, it's like your inner child telling you, hey, I used to be such an achiever, or I used to be so perfect, what happened to us? That's what it's trying to tell you. Another trigger is that if you feel envious towards another person who are, getting better in the life, getting successful, and they're growing and they're in the spotlight, and you feel envious towards that person, then perhaps there are situations in your life where you felt unheard, unseen, or unworthy. So work on your sense of self-worth and self-love. Perhaps their success is like a mirror reflecting back to you, telling you that, hey, this is what you could have been. So you don't actually feel inferior towards the person or towards the situation, but you feel that way because of yourself. Because if you don't already feel negatively about yourself, then you wouldn't have the urge to react strongly towards another person, trying to make them miserable as well. I recently encountered a situation where somebody from my past was talking badly about me and calling my contents cringe and all of that. But what that says about that person is that they have unhealed wounds and they're showing their vulnerability towards me by trying to inflict their pain. But how I react towards the situation is I did nothing. I kept my silence. I didn't confront that person. And all I did was that I sent a message towards the universe and hoped it reached them. And I said, I'm thankful that you're the test that I passed, and I'm sorry that I was the test that you failed. So, how you react is really on you. That's why learning to identify your wounds and healing yourself is a really important thing to do because it makes you see the bigger picture and react better towards situations like unwanted situations. You deserve it all, but to be able to have it all, you must understand that the things that you want in life, the reality you want to live in, the person that you want to become, the awards you wish to receive, you don't choose all of those. The rewards chooses the person. It's not the other way around. When you are aligned with it, when you're ready to receive it, then the universe, the gods, will hand it out to you just like that. You don't even have to beg for it. And perhaps you will receive something even better. But how are you going to be able to receive those blessings, you may ask? By stepping out of your comfort zone. I call this braving the storm. Imagine this pencil case as your comfort zone. It's secured, it's stable, it provides stability. And this pen here is you, and this is your potential. So if you keep it locked up, you zip it right there, of course it'll be stable, it's secured, it's not going to go anywhere. But listen, it's not going to go anywhere. So if you take your potential out, you take yourself out of your comfort zone, and you write down something with this very pen here, you might be able to write poems, you might be able to narrate a story, or even write an essay that will get you into your dream university. Perhaps join a writing competition with it and write something with it and receive awards. And even if you don't receive awards for stepping out of your comfort zone, at least you did it and you wrote down your story with this very pen here. I know that change is scary, but if you shy away from it, then you'll only fall behind. Now, another thing is to stop performing for others. If you are someone who constantly seek validation from others, then no matter how good you perform, you will always be met with disappointment. For example, if you finally step out of your comfort zone, you put your potential to use and joined a competition. But if you only did it to gain your parents' approval or your family's approval, for example, okay, and then you only receive second place. But to you, you've already done enough. You step out of your comfort zone, you tried your best, you even receive a medal for second place. It is enough, you're happy. But the moment a word of disapproval comes out of your family's mouth, your energy immediately drops, and suddenly you're carrying two burdens. First is not being able to receive first place, and another is not being able to meet your family's expectations. So stop performing for others. Stop tying your worth to others because all of those do not matter. People will congratulate you once, but you're the only one who'll be able to congratulate yourself a million times over, because you're the only one who knows how hard it is to, step out of your comfort zone, plug up the courage, and do something you've never done before. This brings me to my other point. It's rebranding and limiting yourself and your energy wisely. Look, if you spend your entire life tying your value to others, then you are taking away your power, because your energy is your power and you're pouring out your energy to other people and you're letting them control you. Energy is like currency. If you spend it wisely, it doubles. But if you spend it unwise, it drains the hell out of you. First of all, we're literally souls walking on earth, experiencing life through a human's body. We pay for the delicious food that we eat, and we spend countless of hours sleeping to get our energy up, to get our body working. And you're telling me you're doing all of that to nurture other people's energy? There are books that you haven't read, places that you haven't explored, and things that you haven't even discovered that you can do. And you're telling me you spent money to eat and hours to sleep just to nurture other people, just to try to please other people? Like, what is wrong with you? Literally, what is wrong with you? Ask yourself, what is wrong with me? Because why are you doing that? Of course, I'm not saying that you should limit yourself completely to, your loved ones and the people, who actually matters towards you. Learn to limit your energy, because the more you pour out, the less you become. There are some people that you have to become a comforting hill to, and then there are some that you have to become an unreachable mountain towards. So use your energy wisely. I'm sure that there are people in your life that you've encountered, or your friends or families with. Perhaps that there are people that only come to you when they have problems or when they have gossip, and they're always talking negatively about other people. They talk, or whenever you spend time with them, you feel your energy going down really fast, and you're always trying to solve their problems and their situations. At some point, you should be able to say that, hey, stop it. You have your own problem. I have mine. So learn to deal with yours while I deal with mine. I do not have the energy for this. Set your boundaries clearly.